Good morning all of you. I am Shamli. Now here we are dealing with maths. So our first chapter is number system. You all are familiar with numbers and number patterns, etc. From childhood onwards you heard about numbers and their operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now here in this chapter, number system deals with the different types of numbers and their number patterns and the representation of a real number line and their operations. So we will start our section. First one is number system. What do you mean by a number system? A number system is simply means is the way of representing numbers. And the first one is natural numbers. We all are familiar with natural numbers. Natural numbers are those for counting and ordering. Counting means 1 apple, 2 books, 3 pens, etc. So for counting we used as a number, natural numbers are there. And for ordering also, first position, second position, third position. For these we are used as a natural numbers. So we denote the collection of natural numbers by n, capital letter N, and the representation of natural numbers on a number line is this. Next we move on to the whole numbers. What do you mean by whole number? Whole numbers are positive numbers including 0 without any fractional part or decimal part. In whole numbers starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And we note the collection of whole numbers is by capital letter W, and the representation of whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. So in natural numbers we included the 0, we get another set of numbers, we call it as an whole number. So by adding two whole numbers we get another whole number, that is 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, it is a whole number. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9, it is another whole number. What about the subtraction part? 4 minus 2 is equal to 2, it is also a whole number. What about 2 minus 4? 2 minus 4 is minus 4, 2 minus 4 is there. So 2 minus 4 is minus 2, it is not a whole number because minus 2 does not belongs to the whole number, the collection of whole numbers. So in this, so minus 2 does not belong to the whole number. So in this type of numbers we call it as an integer. So integers are there. An integer is a number that can be written without a fractional compound. And integers is represented by capital letter Z. Here we can see that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. are positive integers, and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 are negative integers, and 0 is neither positive nor negative. So next section is rational number. So first we studied about natural numbers. We represented natural numbers by capital letter N, by 1, 2, 3, etc. So I represent natural numbers n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. in a circle. Next we studied about the whole numbers. Whole numbers are starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So I put 0 into the natural number, it became a whole number. So I 0 put into the natural number. So I get another set of numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. It is called it as whole number. Then we studied about integers, that is etc. minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. We already get 1, 2, 3, etc. here, and 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. here. That is this part we already get. So including minus part, that is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, etc. we get another set of numbers and it is called as integers. Then next section is rational numbers. What do you mean by a rational numbers? A number R is said to be a rational number if it can be written in the form of P by Q, and whereas Q not equal to 0 and P and Q are integers. And R is called as a integer, rational number. It can be written in the form of P by Q, that is 2 by 3, 4 by 5, etc. But in the conditions are there, p and q must be integers and q not equal to 0. That is, denominator must be not equal to 0. That is 2 by 0, it is not a rational number, it can't be determined. And here, so in this section, we are natural numbers, whole numbers, integers are there, and we put it as 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, etc. And we get another set of collection, we call it as rational numbers and denoted by, rational numbers. So here we can see that all natural numbers are whole numbers. What about the converse part? Is all whole numbers are natural numbers? No. Because in whole numbers we can see 0, but 0 does not belongs to the natural numbers. In the similar way, all natural numbers are integers. What about the converse part? Is all integers are natural numbers? No, it is not possible, because minus 1, minus 2, etc. negative integers are not belongs to the natural numbers. In the similar way, all whole numbers are rational numbers. What about the converse part? It is not possible. All rational numbers are not whole numbers. So, this is we call it as a simply number system. This is a number system. Natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, etc. and whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Integers, we have a negative part of the number system, and rational numbers are p in the form of p by q. There are some exercises are there. Is every natural number is a whole number? Is it possible? Yes, of course, every natural number is a whole number. Every integer is a whole number? No, it is not possible. Because integers have negative signs are there. So, it is not possible. So, all integers are not whole numbers. What about every rational number is a whole number? It is not possible, because every rational number contains in the p by q form 2 by 3, 4 by 5, etc. It does not belongs to the set of whole numbers. Subtraction of two whole numbers is always resulting in a whole number. Is it possible? Subtraction of two whole numbers always does not give a whole number. It gives a integers. Next section is all integers are rational numbers. All integers are rational numbers. Yes, it is true. So, here we studied about the number systems are there. Natural numbers denoted by capital letter N, and it is 1, 2, 3, etc. Next is whole numbers. It starts from 0 and 1, 2, 3, etc. Next is integers. It have a minus part also there. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. And another set of number is rational numbers, and it is represented by a p by q form, and q not equal to 0, p and q must be equal to 0. Then next section is for finding rational numbers between a and b. How will you find the rational numbers between a and b? We know that in a number system 1, 2, 3, etc. is a number line. Here is also possible. So, in between 1 and 2 there are lots of rational numbers are there. In between 1 and 2 we get 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5, etc. there. How we will find the rational numbers between any two rational numbers? So, here we can see that q1 is equal to a and b are two rational numbers, and we will find the rational numbers in between a and b. We use this equation. Q1 is the first rational number, and this method is called a simple mean method, which means average method. That is, q1 is equal to the average between the two rational numbers are a and b. So, finding the average of the numbers a and b is a plus b by 2. Suppose here is a question, find the rational number between 1 and 2. Finding the rational number between 1 and 2. How will we find the rational number between 1 and 2? Here I put A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 2. A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 2. By mean method, first I find Q1 is equal to A plus B by 2. That is A plus B by 2, which is equal to 1 plus 2 by 2, which is equal to 3 by 2. Here is the first rational number. Then what about the second rational number? So here is 1 and here is 2, and Q1 we will get a 3 by 2. Next one is I take A and Q1 other. A is equal to B1. So Q1 is equal to Q1 is equal to 3 by 2. Next I take half Q2 is equal to half into A plus Q1. That is 1 plus 3 by 2 into 1 by 2. Here we can use the BODMAS method. First you calculate the within the brackets, that is 1 plus 3 by 2. We get a 2 plus 3 by 2, that is 1 by 2 into 5 by 2, which is equal to 5 by 4. So another set of rational number, another rational number. Q2 we get a 5 by 4. So in the similar way, Q3, how we will find Q3? Here Q3 is equal to half A plus Q2. That is half into, what about A? It is 1 plus 5 by 4. Here we can use the BODMAS rule, that is first we calculate within the brackets, that is 1 by 2 into 4 plus 5 by 4, which is equal to 9 by 8. 9 by 8 is the another rational number. In the similar way, we can find the infinite number of rational numbers between any two rational number. So the calculations are the finding the rational numbers between 1 and 2. It is 1, we take A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 2. So find the mean of the first two numbers, 1 and 2 is 3 by 2. Next we find the mean of the another set of two numbers, and 1 and 3 by 2, where 3 by 2 is the first rational numbers, we find the above. The next is rational number between 1 and 5 by 4, etc. We find an infinite set of rational numbers between any two rational numbers. There is no limited numbers in between two rational numbers. There are infinitely many rational numbers between any two rational numbers. Here in between 1 and 2 we can see that 33 by 32, 17 by 16, 9 by 8, 5 by 4, 3 by 2, 7 by 4, etc. are the rational numbers between the rational numbers 1 and 2. Here we can see that find 4 rational numbers between 1 by 4 and 2 by 5. Here we can also use the mean method by proving above. But why we are using mean method? By using mean method, it is very difficult in this case, because by above mentioned it is 1 and 2 are rational numbers, there are integers, we can easily find the average between 1 and 2. But here we must find the average is 1 by 2 into 1 by 4 plus 2 by 5. So calculation must be quite impossible. So here we can find the LCM of two numbers, LCM of the denominators of the rational numbers 4 and 5. The LCM of the 4 and 5 is 20. So I multiplied the numerator and denominator by 5. So I got 5 by 20 and 8 by 20. So in between 5 by 20 and 8 by 20 we find the infinite set of rational number 6 by 20, 7 by 20. So 6 by 20, 7 by 20 are two rational numbers between 5 by 20 and 80 by 20. 5 by 20, 80 by 20, we get 6 by 20, 7 by 20. These are two rational numbers between A and B, between 5 by 20 and 8 by 20. Then, so the number of rational numbers required is n. We find the first rational numbers required for is n is equal to 5. So n plus 1 is equal to, that is 5 plus 1 is equal to 6, and I multiply 6 by numerators and denominator and I get 30 by 120 and 48 by 120. In the similar way, 5 by 20 we can represent it by 30 by 120 and 8 by 20 I can represent it by 48 by 120. Here denominators are same. So I find 31 by 120 less than 32 by 120 less than 33 by 120 etc. up to 40 less than 47 by 120. So we get infinite set of rational numbers in between 30 by 120 and 48 by 120. So I pick just only 4 rational numbers, that is 31 by 120 less than 32 by 120 less than 33 by 120 less than 34 by 120 less than 35 by 120. So here 31 by 120, 32 by 120, 33 by 120, 34 by 120, 35 by 120 are the rational numbers between 1 by 4 and 2 by 5. So there are different methods to find the rational numbers between 1 by 4 and 2 by 5. So here we use another method for finding the rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. Here is I multiply 3 by 5 and 4 by 5 by simply 6 because here denominators are same. So I did not find the LCM of these two numbers. So I just multiply numerators and denominators by 6. So I get 18 by 30 and 24 by 30. For finding the rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5, it is equal to finding the rational numbers between 18 by 30 and 24 by 30. So here denominators are same 30, 30. What about the numerators? So numerators are 18 and 24. In between 18 and 24 there are lots of numbers are there. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So hence the 5 rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5 is I pick 30, 20 by 30, 21 by 30, 22 by 30, 23 by 30. So this is another method for finding the rational number between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. This is also finding the rational numbers between 2 by 3 and 3 by 4 using the mean method. We can also here use the find the LCM of 3 and 4, and you can also use the mean method. It's up to you. So we concluded that there are infinitely many rational numbers between any two given rational number. There is 1 or 2 there is no limited rational numbers between any two rational numbers. There are infinitely many rational numbers between any two rational number. So, we studied about the numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers. So, the next section is irrational numbers. Rational number, we said that the numbers represented by the p by q form, and q is a non-zero and p and q are integers. So, irrational numbers are just opposite to the rational numbers. That is, S is called as a irrational number. It cannot be written in the form of p by q. Here I write as pq. It is not pq. It is p by q. So, irrational numbers cannot be written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers. That is, root numbers are simply called as irrational numbers. That is root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 10 and pi 3.141592 etc. are called as a rational number. So, first we find the number system, natural number, whole number, integers, rational number. Here another system of numbers is called as a irrational number, and together we are called as a real number system. That is, here we can see that the natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers. So, combining rational number and irrational number, the together system we are called as an integers. We are called as a real numbers. So, that is why a real number is either rational or irrational. We cannot say that real numbers are irrational numbers, because it may be a rational numbers. So, that is why a real number is either rational or irrational. Next section is representing a numbers on a number line. So, here previous we studied about the different types of numbers. Then this type of numbers, how we represent on a real number line. What do you mean by real number line? In a real number line, it contains the real numbers are there. It contains natural number. In a number line, it contains natural number, whole number, integers, rational and also irrational number. That is why we call it as a number line by a real number line. So, how? Represent 1 and minus 1 on a number line. So, here is our number line. 1, 2, 3 etc. are natural numbers. We can represent by here. 0 is a whole number. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 etc. are integers. So, 1 and minus 1 on a number line, how will you represent? 1 is here and minus 1 is here. What about the rational numbers? Represent 0.5 on a number line. 0.5 is simply means as a 1 by 2. So, I draw 0 and 1 there. So, in between 0 and 1 we get 1 by 2 is there. Next, so we plot as numbers, natural numbers is there. Whole number 0 and integers and real rational numbers. The next section is irrational numbers. How we will represent irrational numbers on a number line. Irrational numbers are root numbers. It is terminating. It cannot be written in the form of p by q. How we will represent the irrational numbers on a number line. Next is how we plot a root 2 numbers, root 2, root 3 etc. irrational numbers on a number line. Let us watch the video.
In the concept we saw in the previous video, let's see how we plot the length root 2 on a number line. So let's plot it on this number line. We need to make a right triangle with 1 unit as the base. Let OA be the base of that triangle. We also want its height to be 1 unit long. Let's draw the height AB like this. We just drew AB equal to 1 unit perpendicular to OA. Both these lengths equal 1 unit. Now all we have to do is join OB like this. Let's analyze the figure. We have OA equal to 1 unit and AB equal to 1 unit. Using the Pythagoras theorem, we have OB squared equal to OA squared plus AB squared. That would equal 1 squared plus 1 squared, which is 2. Taking the square root on both sides, we get OB equal to root 2 units. This length here will be root 2 units. We length OC is also equal to root 2. And if we need minus root 2, then we cut the same arc on the other side of O. Let's quickly see how we can actually construct it.
So, this is our number line 0, 1, 2, 3 and here minus 1 is there. Minus 1, minus 2 etc. So, I draw first here 0 to 1 is 1 unit is there. I draw a perpendicular line, it is also 1 unit and I connect this perpendicular line to 0. So, here is 1 unit, also here is also 1 unit, I put it O, A and B. So, OA equal to 1 unit, AB also equal to 1 unit. So, OB is equal to, using Pythagoras theorem, OB square is equal to OA square plus AB square. That is OA is equal to 1. So, 1 square plus 1 square is equal to 1. OB square is equal to 1. What about OB? OB is equal to, OB square is equal to 2. So, OB is equal to root 2. So, these lengths OB is equal to root 2. So, here why we represent root 2 in here, so, now we represent root 2 on a number line. We represent this length is root 2. Now, here this B I want to represent on the number line. So, I put in a compass on as O and take that the length is root 2 and I draw here. So, here I get a root 2. So, root 2 is always lies between 1 and 2. Here we can draw root 2 on the number line and this D is called as a root 2. Here we can see that by using Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. Hypotenuse is equal to square root of base square plus height square. Base is 1 and height is also 1. So, square root of 1 square plus 1 square, hypotenuse is equal to root 2. So, this length is called, this length is root 2. So, I represent this length on the number line by using the compass. So, point P is called as root 2. So, root 2 is always lies between 1 and 2. Here is the figure. So, any irrational number like root 2, root 3 etc. are represented on a number line by using the Pythagoras theorem. Here we draw the root 2 on the number line. What about root 3? So, here root 2 is here 1 unit and 1 unit is a perpendicular length. Next, here I draw a 1 unit perpendicular to OB. This is also 1 unit. So, here OB is equal to root 2 and I put it A, B, C, E. BE is equal to 1 unit. Then I join OE. I join OE. What about the length of OE? In the similar way, root 2 we draw using Pythagoras theorem. OE square is equal to, what about OE square? It is OB square plus BE square. That is OB square plus BE square. What about the length of OB? OB is equal to root 2. So, root 2 square plus BE, it is 1 unit, that is 1 square. What about root 2 square? Root 2 into root 2 which is equal to 2. Here we get 2 plus 1. So, OE square is equal to 2 plus 1. What about OE? It is square root of 2 plus 1, that is square root of 3. So, here we get OE is equal to root 3. Next we draw OE is equal to root 3 on the number line. In the similar way we draw the root 2, put a compass on this O and take the length root 3 and we draw here. It is root 3 here. And F is equal to root 3 on the number line. So here we can see that it is 0 to A is 1 unit and A to B is also 1 unit, and using Pythagoras theorem we get OB is equal to root 2, and using compass we draw a semicircle or an arc and we get a D on this number line, and position D is called as a root 2. In the similar way we draw a perpendicular line from B which is perpendicular to OB. We draw a line from B which is perpendicular to OB and taking as a 1 unit and put it as C and join OC. Again using Pythagoras theorem, root 2 square plus 1 square we get root 3. So OC is equal to root 3 and draw a semicircle or an arc. We get E on the number line and the E is called as a root 3 on the number line. In this way, using Pythagoras theorem, we can draw infinite set of irrational numbers on the number line. While we plot these number lines, these root 2, root 3, etc., we get a spiral image. So that's enough. So today we studied about the number system. What do you mean by numbers? It is simply way to represent the numbers. There are different types of numbers are there. Natural numbers. It's represented by capital letter N, and just for counting and for ordering, just 1, 2, 3, etc. And next we studied about the whole numbers. What do you mean by whole number? It's a positive numbers including 0 without a fractional or decimal part. So 0, 1, 2, 3 is a whole number. Then integers, then rational numbers, then irrational numbers, and together rational and irrational we call it as a real number, and we represent real numbers on the number line. We represent 0 on the number line, natural numbers on the number line, integers on the number line, real numbers like irrational numbers also we represent on a number line using Pythagoras theorem. And one more thing we studied, that the finding the rational numbers between two rational numbers. First method is mean method and another method is find the LCM of the denominators. So we saw that the root 2 we can represent on a number line, root 3 we can represent on a number line. So irrational numbers we can represent on a number line by Pythagoras theorem. Just so see this figure, we can see the root 2 here, root 3, 2, root 5, etc. So while going this way, we can represent all the irrational numbers. But while representing the irrational numbers on a number line, we just draw an arc and mark it as here. Then that's all. So while continue this way, root 2, root 3, etc., we get a spiral image on that. So in this chapter we studied about the number systems. Number systems are the way to represent the numbers, and next we studied about different types of numbers are there. Natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just for counting and ordering, and next is whole numbers. This is starting from 0 and 1, 2, 3, etc. What about the next one? Obviously it is an integer. Integers are integers on a number line are positive integers, negative integers. 0 is neither positive nor negative. Next one is rational numbers, and next things we studied about the rational numbers between any two rational numbers. We have two or more methods are there for finding the rational numbers between any two rational numbers. So there are infinitely many rational numbers between any two rational numbers. First we studied about the mean method, finding the average of the first and the last one. Next, next we studied about the find the LCM of the denominators and so on. So rational numbers are there, and we also studied about the rational numbers between any two rational numbers. So there are infinitely there. Next we studied about the irrational numbers, that is we cannot be written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q must be not equal to 0. So together the collection of rational and irrational we call it as a real number. This is a real number system. First one is natural, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers, and together these rational and irrational call it as a real number system. Then we find the average, rational numbers between any two rational numbers. The two methods are the real numbers. It's a collection of rational numbers and irrational numbers, and it is denoted by R. So a real number is either positive or either rational or irrational. It's a real number system. Then the representation of a numbers on a number line. Whole numbers we can represent, natural numbers we can represent, integers, rational numbers, every numbers we can represent. Also irrational numbers also we can represent on a number line by using Pythagoras theorem. So root 2 is, we can plot is here, rational numbers. This is just only rational numbers on this. If we draw the irrational numbers on a number line, we must draw an arc and mark it on the number line. So by continue this way, we get a spiral image on this. So okay, thank you.